Of the well, the part where I probably have to back up from the microphone a little bit, is this is when this is where I think the poems get a little more intense. So if you're anything like me, you pay attention to what's happening in the world, and I don't just mean Donald Trump and his sons of bitch running mates. I'll just call them running mates because they're all running together to hell as far as I'm concerned. You understand that we've drastically already altered the climate, and that it's a little alarming. And so this poem is called Hume at the Melting Places, and it's Hume as in David Hume, the philosopher, so if you're a David Hume fan, you know about the is-ought fallacy. Just because something is a way isn't necessarily the way it ought to be. So this is called Hume at the Melting Places. The river drinks the glacier's tears, patient, certain, and bored. Atlas turns his feet, assumes the sky upon his shoulders. From his heels, the gravel edges into torrents by Muskeg. Quick picks for beaks, the crows know, come when Chinooks leap and grizzlies prowl. That is today what ought to be. The glacier's sisters' sons cry too, weeping into a mash fermenting. A cellulosic sediment on the barrel's bottom, brewing beer so potent, pines and firs fall. Veterans lost in pain, blinded to a war of rich men's making. Masters of the Borealis, soaked in the stink of their own piss and shit. That is today what ought to be. Farther south, the ponderosas burn, effigies smoking in the thurible. From the altar at Cathedral Rocks, the incense blesses Mammon's congregants. Their bodies a communion for the Beatles' mass, who gorged themselves in an orgy of bark and pulp placed on platters by men. We filled the air with affluences effluent. That is today what ought to be. In Nunavut, a leather-skinned woman remembers the days when all walked near the now drunken trees, once tall and brave beacons of life. Now the mud swallows their feet, her ancestors' childhood, her memories. The melting earth licks its chops, its boggy tongue slavering, eager to consume and cast their remains to the sky. That is today what ought to be.